Hello, let me do a quick check-in with a tech buy. I'm not a tech channel, obviously, but every once in a while I buy a tech device. I did a little review of this one, the Bose Sports earbud, which I picked up for probably 235 bucks Canadian in February, at the very end of February. So I've been using it for 3 months, March, April, and yeah, we're basically at the end of May now. I've been using them, and I figured I would do a little review of these if I don't drop them and break them as I do it. But yes, that's the Bose Sports Bud. As I was going in for looking for as a new one, I had Samsung earbuds, of which I only had the full set for a very short amount of time, and then I limped along with just one earbud. Very sad. At least it was the one that was actually going to still work. I limped along with that for a good while, and then until I finally realized, hey, I love using earbuds. I will go out and actually splurge on a good pair again. But going in, number one, I was looking for something that was going to fit and was not going to easily fall out of my ears like the Samsung earbud here. Other than that, I wanted decent sound. I wanted a good connection, just so it's like I'm usually going to carry it around on my person, and obviously it should have good sound, that good connection through that. But also if I, happen to put down my phone somewhere, because it's usually listening off of my phone, and I wander into another room, it'll generally kind of keep a good connection, and that it has a good battery life. Both the Sports Bud and the Bose have a battery pack in the case, so that whenever you put them in the case, they just charge up from there, and then when you get back home or wherever, you can just plug in the whole thing and just charge it right back up again. So yeah, how did the Bose Sports Bud earbuds do? First, going by fit, which is probably one of the big reasons why I bought this. It has a little hook there, which yeah, probably got the autofocus on wrong, but it has a hook that just sort of hooks on the inside of your ear and goes in. And the other thing is when you put it in and it's like, oh, they connect, a very pleasant female voice comes on and says, battery's full, connected to, and it says the name of my device. The Samsung thing makes a beep sound in your ear, which sometimes I find a little bit annoying. That having that voice is a little bit more pleasant. But yes, number one reason why I wanted to get these, they're sports ones, so it's sort of supposedly, I'm a sports dude. I'm working out. I'm pumping those iron. I'm jogging. I'm doing massive skipping rope, and they're not going to come out. Which no. But I am someone who moves around. I found that the Samsung ones, just walking around would work them out of my ears, and that was going through the various different sizes. I never got a particularly great fit with these ones, unlike the Bose Sports earbuds. These ones, they're in my ears. They will not come out. I mean, maybe they get slightly loose and I can twist it back in, but they do not come out. I do use them. A big thing for sports, my earbuds, I guess, is biking, when I'm biking. But I always wear a headband because I just hate having my ears exposed, so it's not really relevant there. But for just the general walking around, doing stuff, they are not going to come out, and are 100% successful on that. I was really happy with that. They do, you can see, they are fairly bulky. That's maybe the drawback, is they stick out of your ear. Luckily, I've got big ears, so it makes them look smaller. But I guess if you're a more petite person, or you hate having that something sticking out. I mean, you're walking around with earbuds, even if you've got, I've seen, like, the little tapered little iPod ones and all that. It's like, people see them, so it's a matter of how you can feel. I don't care. They stay in, which is great. The pleasant surprise of going from the Bose Sports ones from the Samsung is that this has way better sound, at least for me. Maybe it's because it fits in my ear so well. Maybe it's because Bose just comes out with a better product than Samsung, but these sound much, much more loud. I was finding with the these Samsung buds, which, I'll put one in my ear. Samsung bud, putting my ear, I would have to jack the sound all the way up to the very top to get a just regular sound, which was, it's kind of annoying. It's like there's some things I just couldn't listen to on them because this was so quiet. That is not the case with these. These ones, I don't actually have to jack this. I actually just put the sound into the regular sound spectrum, and I can hear very clearly. These have a good bass on them, which I don't really listen to music on. I listen to podcasts and I listen to audiobooks, which are a bit on the quieter side. So that's one of the reasons why I like that they're actually that much louder. But if I was listening to anything with music or something like that, you can really hear the bass. You can really hear the bass on them if that was something that you were something going to go with. As for connection, I find that they're pretty much similar. I can put the phone down, and I think it's like 30 feet or 9 meters. So if I put this down and I walk out of the room, probably the edges of the house, which is, it's the 30-meter thing, it'll start breaking up or stuff like that. Or if for some reason I put this down and I start walking out of the house, it's like I'll get a little bit ways from the house, go, oh yeah, it's starting to break up. So it's got a good range. For the most part, I'm always keeping my phone in my pocket, so that is really good. Battery life, have had no issues with battery life on that. I probably when I'm listening to something, I'm listening to it for like 2 or 3 hours, probably 3 hours maximum. And this has no trouble with that. And then it just goes back into the case where it charges. And so when I pick it up again, it's fine. I could probably, I'm a plugger inner, so usually everything just sort of, if I'm, especially here in my office here, everything just as a matter of course gets plugged in, and I charge it while I'm working in here for a couple of hours, and it's all ready to go. And I've never run out of battery power on it. So yeah, it's been really, really good that way. One of the things that I actually found that actually makes a big difference with operating my Bose versus my Samsung buds, I think Plus, I can't remember if it's Samsung Plus or whatever, is that this is a single tap to start playing something. It's a single tap, which made these Samsung ones very much more prone to me accidentally, pressing something and or over pressing, and like I think if you double press, it would advance the thing, and I would do that, or I'd accidentally touch it, because of course I lost the other one, so I never got a chance to actually play with volume or really get into the controls. With the Bose ones, very much I love the double tap, because there's no like, oh, accidentally, especially because the volume is also on this side, you stroke up or stroke down to do volume. There's much less of a chance of you accidentally turning it off or turning it on again, stuff like that. I actually really appreciate having that nice double tap. And once you're used to that command, you're really used to it. I haven't used having both in and then having, I think, track advance or something on the other side. I haven't really gotten into using that. I should actually, but that's fine. As for negatives, I can see, with people looking at these, yeah, you look at the sizes of the two cases. This one is bulkier this way. And yeah, the bud itself, this one is a much smaller bud in comparison to this. These ones would sit much more flush. However, that said, this fucker did not stay in my ear. I lost one almost immediately. It was always too quiet. It was never particularly loud. And I didn't realize how frustrating that was until I got this. So for me, the Bose Sports earbuds have been a real success. They stay in my ear. They've got really good sound. I really like the controls. So yeah, that is my little check-in with the Bose Sports earbuds. I figured, hey, why not indulge myself and be a tech channel for a moment. All right. I've been Jay. More videos later.